Good evening, everybody. It's time again for your Rowdies Talk Radio, the Green and Gold Gospel.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Going through changes and I just can't ignore the signs. Hear them now and it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl, hear me howl when the full moon is out. Hear me growl, you see me run, you see me jump. Try to fight, but I emerge with the prize in hand. You better watch out, it's gonna take more than what you got. All eyes are on me and the silence is deafening. You're so helpless against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play. Wow!
Hello, Rowdies fans. Welcome to the Unused Substitutes, your weekly dose, weekly being very subjective, dose of the Green and Gold Gospel. I am your host, Dan Antonino, here, joined here by the man who gets deeper in Facebook comments than he ever has a woman, Ben Wilcott.
I mean, damn, you know what? You sure you need to be here? You know,
I'm out,
Yeah.
guys. I actually got a scheduling conflict. I'm just here for the intro,
Woo!
just to roast Ben off the bat, and I'm out. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
How are you
Damn.
doing?
See, it's hot over here, apparently. You know, just digging shallow graves, you know.
We got nothing
Well-
else really going on, so we got to make this fun somehow.
No, look, first of all, it's good to see your smiling face again. I'm glad you're back.
Me too.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I would say as a whole, things are good. I mean, both my teams are floundering. I don't think there's playoffs for either one of us. So, off season, yay! Even though I'm going to be spending my entire time at the Trop, so no off season. But other than that, though, I would say things are good, man. Life is good. I have 2 bad knees. That's cool. That's a new development. And yeah, what are you going to do, man?
That's what
How
happens
things-
when you're like 70. Your knees are you just knee replacements, and
Well, I am 44. Thank you. My right knee is like 70. My left knee is like 62.
there's
If
not
we're
much
being
I can.
honest.
I'm 41, and my knees have been shot since I was like 17, so I can't really give you too
Yeah,
much grief there.
It's awful, dude. I get up and I limp for like 5 minutes. You're like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't have time to get into this.
Yep.
So just like I don't have time to get into this game. So yay. What do we say? We jump on into this bad boy and just see what happens, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we hosted Sacramento, whatever their team is called. I don't care. West Coast, Worst Coast. They are coached by a familiar face, our boy Neil Collins. It's sad that he is not on our touchline. It was weird seeing him on the other side. It was comforting to be watching at home and hearing Neil's scream echoing through Al Langa's days of yore. But as far as the game goes, not much doing on our end, I would say. I haven't been on the show in a hot minute, so we didn't get to talk about it. I didn't expect much going in. I mean, Neil Collins is Neil Collins. He's got his team playing the way he wants with the players he wants. The Rowdies are starting basically their 3rd season within a season. I think Casiato has had his preseason with his club in the first couple of weeks. He's brought in some new players. So the Rowdies are in a completely different place than Sacramento. So I didn't expect much. I was hoping for a draw. That would have been the ideal situation for me, I think. Obviously, that did not happen. But, I weirdly, probably the first loss all season that I was just like, yeah, that's fine. But let's go first half. What'd you see? What'd you like? What you didn't like? Good, bad, ugly. Run through it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of there with you. I mean, Neil Collins has his team buzzing. I mean, kudos. I mean, it reminded us of all the things we loved when Neil Collins was our gaffer. I mean, it just very structured, very organized, very smart defensively. They cut down every open lane, so they force you. So even when they don't have the ball, they force where you and dictate where you play. They kept us wide where we were obviously not a threat. And they were lethal when they needed to be, but also not a team that puts a lot of shots on target. They only had 2 shots on target this game, which, I mean, I know everyone wants to praise Neil for a lot of great things he did because, I mean, fully worth it. I love the man. But one thing we struggled with, even under Neil, was scoring goals. And they only had 2 shots on target. And it just happens that those are the 2 went in. And specifically to the first half, I mean, that goal was so frustrating because, I mean, Aaron does everything you want a defender to do, right? He steps in, he makes himself big, he spreads his body out. The shot, quite frankly, I think was probably savable before the deflection. I think where his head, I think Bondre was set up pretty good. And then deflection just puts in like the perfect spot where, unless you are like the elite of elite and have like Stretch Armstrong arms, you're not stopping the shot. And it's just like, of course. And we were talking during the game and you're like Rowdies, most unlucky team or unlucky team this season. And it feels like that. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Now, take nothing away from that moment. I mean, we didn't do anything in that first half. We didn't produce a shot on target. We didn't. We looked very lazy. We were slow to react. I mean, we were second to the ball every open play. And there was no creativity, no nothing. And it just, for a team that has to know how important it is that every point is at this stage of the season, you think to yourself, how are they not being more reactive? How are they not being more proactive? How are they not being more aggressive to the ball? And it was so frustrating because it's not like there weren't opportunities that they could have done something, but because we were so slow to move in this first half, I mean, literally the highlights lasted all of like a minute. Like, because there was nothing to show. There's nothing to see. I mean, I don't think that Sacramento did anything amazing necessarily in that first half. They just happened to get the only goal that was off a fairly unlucky deflection. We just didn't do anything. There was no creativity. And then obviously at the end of the half, Lewis Hilton taking the knock, you knew second half was going to be rough. So yeah, did you see anything that stood out to you?
No, it
Yeah.
felt exactly like I thought it was going to go. A Neil Collins team was going to smother. You know, like he said when I remember when he first took over the Rowdies, his saying was, "I want players that would kick their grannies for the club," and he built another team across the country that will kick their grannies for the badge and for him. And the Rowdies definitely were not kicking any grannies. They just. But like, they also didn't give much, which was impressive. Yeah. Which I like. I don't want to be too hard on the club. Like, they weren't great going forward, but they were, other than a great shot, well, a crappy deflection that like went in, which is usually like a random player scoring a worldly. Like, the team held their own, and like the second goal was a consequence of the Rowdies pushing for an equalizer in the second half. Sure. So like, I don't want to say this was the worst game we've played or like that, but like it wasn't our best by far. Don't get me wrong. But like going against a Neil Collins team, and maybe we're giving Neil and then Sacramento too much credit, but I don't think we're giving Sac Republic that much credit. I think they are a well-coached team. They play well. They're thick of it in the top of the Western Conference. Like, and for a club that's been at the bottom of the Eastern Conference for 99% of the season, I think we held our own. But you're right. I think we were, for a team that for the home team against a club that traveled across the country, we should not have been second to a lot of these balls. It looked like we traveled to the West Coast and had to change up everything. But again, it wasn't our worst performance, but it was really, I think the highlight of the first half, obviously, because it didn't happen in the second half really, is Lewis Hilton hitting the milestone. And we could do an hour on the glories of Lewis Hilton. I'm sure Casey would rise from her slumber and join the show. But we can get into that later after the second half. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I got the 8th anniversary jersey, like for the special one, and I wore it last week and they did well. And like, I didn't put it on Saturday. And Casey was like, why didn't you put on your Lucky Rowdies jersey? And I was like, because it's not going to help. I knew what this game was. And not that I'm a superstitious person, but if you are, you can blame me for not wearing the jersey and whatever. And maybe that deflection doesn't go in. I'll take all the heat. Give it on me. Yeah, at halftime, I think I'm going to fast forward a little bit in the second half. And we talked about it several times with Steve Coleman. I don't think Cassiato is really on it doing as much, but I think some of those subs that were made should have been made earlier in the game. But I also think Skinner should have came on for Hilton, and maybe switched it around a little bit that way, or maybe Alvarez should have come on earlier. I was a little, when it came to subs in the second half, I was a little confused why they took so long. We weren't creating anything going forward previous.
Yeah.
We do have some depth to change the attack. And I think Alvarez is a spark plug that could have changed a lot going forward. So I was a little shocked. Arteaga coming in, you and I have discussed it last time I was here about his playmaking ability more so than his finishing and striker, and that came into effect. So, like, I think my issue in the second half was a bit slow on the subs. Like, we weren't doing anything. So, like, you weren't close to a breakthrough and then waiting to see, and then having to make the move. We weren't doing anything. Make the move. But we did push a lot, and I mean, Neil Collins' team bends and doesn't break, which we saw a lot of in his time here. But I think we could have. I really do. I just don't think we made the moves early enough. And the second goal, like I said, was a consequence of us pushing. That happens. I don't care. A 1-0 is the same as a 2-0 in that situation for me. I don't care, especially when you're, fighting to just for your life at the bottom of the table. 2-0 is not going to harm you any more than a 1-0. But I like I said, I think it was the subs that got me. Some of them, Alvarez, Skinner should have come on earlier. What did you see? What did you feel? Were you okay with the subs? Did you hate them? Did you want to see them earlier? Who cares? Timing doesn't matter. What's there?
Yeah, it's tough here because I don't think that Murray was doing much. I would have liked to have seen us make that change earlier. Pulling Alvarez on for Bodley in the 83rd, I'm with you, just didn't make any sense. I would have rather seen Bodley stay out there. He was at least having some success on the left-hand side. Skinner coming on for Azakar, I get it, but Azakar was also the only guy up to that point that was really doing anything. Now, I don't know if that's a fitness thing or what, but I actually thought he was effective in this game. But really the second half it's two things. You already partially brought it up, which is Neil Collins' teams bend, don't break, right? They don't allow you a lot of space. They make you play where they want you to go. And the other aspect of that is we just weren't creative enough. I mean, we were not pulling players out of position. We were very stationary. We were very slow to create the overlapping runs to open up the defense. And again, I know that Sacramento played disciplined in that regard, not letting themselves get stretched. But at the same time, if you're not making the runs, if you're not consistently showing that you could be that threat, well, then why should they? Why should they respect you making those plays? If you've already shown that you're not going to do it, I mean, they have no reason to fear it. So, I look back at this, like initially after the game, I did what we talked about, and I jumped into the comment section, and I just said across the board, Sacramento was just a better team than us. And to clarify, it's not that I say that their 11 is better than our 11, position for position, because I think that we have a number of really fantastic players, but what we don't have is a cohesive unit. Whereas Sacramento has good players, but they're playing very structured in their system, and it's very disciplined. And it's obvious that, like you said, we're on coach number 3 this year, and we are essentially playing with a patchwork team of players that, while yes, they can play in these positions, these are not the roles that we originally expected them to play. I don't think we ever would have expected Vin Cazil to play as much as he's played. I don't think we foresaw Forrest basically not even being a factor at all this season. Seeing Hilton go down with injuries, Leo having the injury issues that he's had. I mean, you think about what's happened this season. It's just like, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And then you lead into this game after everything we've been facing. And I would still say, having had time to just kind of digest it all, I don't think we were that bad in the second half. We were pushing. A Neil Collins team is one of those grinded out kind of teams where you just got to fight and you just got to create opportunities. There's only going to be a handful that you're going to create, and you have to capitalize on them. And we just didn't. And we haven't done that all season. It's no surprise that it didn't happen here either. I mean, we were never going to get a lot of chances in this game. And we know we're a team that struggles to score. We have 2 strikers and one guy that can score, but I have issues with certain aspects of his game, and another guy who's technically a striker who doesn't score at all. And quite frankly, is better at other things than striking. So, I don't know what anyone expected here. I mean, people calling for Cassiano, by the way, can you just stop? Can you just please stop? I get it. Dude, I just want to reach through. And so many times I wanted to do this because it's just so aggravating because fans are awesome and stupid all at the same time. And sometimes I want a smack button because Christ almighty, look at what the guy is trying to do. We were not a team of any shape or form by the time that Robbie was done. I have nothing able to say at that. It didn't work. Fine. Coleman, who was never supposed to be our head coach, just tries to reorganize his team and make them a unit again, which is extremely hard to do in the midst of a season against one of the toughest parts of our schedule. Somehow manages to get us semi-organized and playing decent soccer. And then we pull in Cassiano, who I still think is a phenomenal choice for head coach. And given an offseason and a chance to bring in his players is going to be wonderful for this franchise. But I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna curse. I need y'all to just take a damn deep breath and just realize, look, this is not a good season. This is just not the season we wanted. And I get it. Have your frustrations. Be mad. I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I talked to Ryan today. I mean, I said my piece. Look, I get it. But guys, calm down, man. I mean, what the hell are y'all talking about? Fire Cassiano. What chances he had here? What chances he had? The one gripe I have on the goal. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
No, go.
The one gripe I had on the second goal, and you're right, it didn't matter. We were going for the game. You're absolutely right. But Cicerone runs by 3 players, man. 3 players all ahead of him. And Cicerone is not fast. He's not slow. But he's not that fast. He ran by 3 defenders to put that ball in the net, unchallenged. It just frustrated the hell out of me. That's that. I don't know. Damn it. Crap. The moon's down. Freaking Hilton's out. Lord knows how long. I guess Leo just doesn't play anymore. I don't know what's happening there. I saw Wazzy beforehand, who's running again, but that could be nothing. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do at this point. It's so aggravating because it's just happy 50th.
I really think this season is done. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is still a possibility of playoffs, and I don't want to give up hope completely. This team has been playing with us like a yo-yo, but I'm going in with I just want to see what Cassiano is looking at, try to see what he's seeing, who he's likely to bring in or keep, I should say. Because Paul Murray's on loan. Passius is on loan.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are older and probably in the last year of contracts, and they might have another year. So this offseason is going to be one of the most painful in Rowdy's history in recent route since Neil Collins basically took over. So I think fans need to be ready for that, which I think after a season like this we are. But you can see what he's trying to build, but he just doesn't have the pieces, or things are just not there because, I mean, a lot of these guys won't be here next year, whether it's a loan or just, end of contracts or old. I don't know, firing Cassiano is the dumbest thing. This is why I don't go into comment sections, because I don't know if people are just rage bait or if they just don't know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to what's happening with the club. And it's just one of those things. And it's just frustrating because I found myself thinking, I was thinking about this earlier today. I was we preached not lowering our standards for what this team should do. But then I was kind of content with Saturday's game. And it's that's not where we should be. A 2-0 loss at home is 2 years ago before Robbie was unthinkable and would have been unacceptable. And here I was like, well, that's, it's a Neil Collins coach team. Like, that's fine. Like, we are better than this. The Rowdies should be better than that. Like, we should expect more. We should demand, as fans and supporters of this club, we should be demanding more. But we should also not be demanding the head of the head coach, our third head coach of the year, who just signed with the back half of the like the back third of the season. Like, that's asinine. Yeah. Like, that's asinine. I do think, like, I think I saw some of the comments where somebody was like complaining about Nico in the front office, and you were like, but Nico's also the guy that brought in these guys that you love. Like, people hit or miss. Jobs have good days, they have bad days. Also, players, like sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like, they might be, or coach works. Like, Robbie Nielsen on paper was the coach for the Rowdies. Like, he had better credentials than Neil Collins, like a better pedigree. He played a decent style. I can see what he tried to do early on, but it just didn't translate over here to whatever. That's it. That's nobody's fault. Like, it happens, and it sucks because it left this club in a worse spot. But you can't look at Alvarez, Paul Marie, Sharp, these guys that have come in to try to like shore up this team as bad acquisitions. Like, I think like we did what we needed to, other than finding, I think Paul Marie was supposed to be that right wing back and it's just not playing there or is being utilized differently. But like, we brought in the places we need. I mean, we got Bill Hamid. Like, we even brought in a veteran goaltender for Bond to either, replace Bondre when he's healthy or just teach Bondre and the future. Like, you cannot fault the front office for where we are. People, like, it's such a weird situation. We shouldn't be accepting it, but we should be demanding more. But this team is receptive. And also, like, there's so much other crap. Like, there's a potential sale looming. The other thing I don't know if you touched on, we haven't talked about, like, the lease renewal is only for another year. That just came up. So, like, the current owners and the potential new owners are going to have to figure out what to do with this club going forward, trying to find a permanent home where we don't have to have 1-year lease extensions all the time. Because the reality, if we're going to go there, and I don't know where this rant is leading to, I'm just going, but like, the reality is, like, that is prime real estate that, right there on the waterfront, and a rundown baseball stadium converted for soccer isn't the ideal development for that spot. So, sadly.
I mean, look, she's old and she's ugly, warts and all, but she's ours. And as somebody who's put a lot of blood, sweat, tears in that place, we make the most of it. But to kind of tag along with what you were saying too, it's like, look, I'm the one that brought up Nico in the comments section, and I want to be very clear about something. I have been critical of Nico, but I am also supportive of Nico because he's done more good. And do you think he'd picked any of these players with the thought of, that'll screw the team? No, why the hell would he do that? He picked these guys using the best information he had, and guess what? Sometimes it doesn't work. But then you look at the players that he's brought in throughout the year, minus maybe Sharp, who I think it's just too early to tell. He's a young kid. Young kids are like that. Sometimes they hit the ground running and they do phenomenal. Some kids just need time to grow. But other than Sharp, I mean, I thought we brought in some phenomenal players. We brought in a new head coach who I think is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And you don't think he plays a part in all that? I mean, I want people to understand. It's like, this isn't just a simple thing. Not everybody can do what's being done, okay? This is tough. And yes, I'm with Dan. We should expect more. We should want more. But if you look at our roster at the beginning of the season, okay, and you read the players off and not knowing what we know now about how the season's unfolded, injuries, so on and so forth. But if you look at that roster, are you going to sit here and tell me that you don't feel good? At least you feel like we have a talented team. Like, we don't have a team that can compete. Maybe not against Louisville and Charleston, which I get right now are kind of the standard for the East. And yeah, we want to get back to that. But did anyone, and I guarantee you, not one of you looked at this roster and said, that's the worst placed team in the East. And then to sit here and act all high and mighty like these things didn't work. Wow, of course we didn't know. This guy sucks. This GM can't do this. No, shut the hell up. For the love of God, shut the hell up. You're an idiot. There's a reason you're a fan. There's a reason you are not in the front office, okay? These guys are doing the best they can with what they have, with the information they have at the time. Sometimes it doesn't work. Oh, well, get over it, okay? I mean, look, we all know what we want. I don't want to sit here and talk to you about losses. Dan doesn't want to do that. You don't want us to talk about losses. This is on our 50th anniversary. None of this is what we want to be doing right now. Okay. But I mean, let's all be at least somewhat reasonable. Like, why am I a reasonable? But don't ask, do you? I mean, anyone who knows me knows that I'm not reasonable. I'm obnoxious. I am loud. I am opinionated. And most of the time I'm wrong. Okay.
I can vouch
All
for
that to
all of
say,
that.
yeah, I mean, but I do know a few things, okay? I actually sit here and talk to the players. I actually talk to the coaching staff. I talk to the people that work in the front office. I talk to the people that work there and that have a hand in what's going on here. And I can tell you firsthand, the players, the coaching staff, the front office, they are all working their asses off to get this thing right, okay? No one is selling out here and just saying, whatever, and taking a paycheck. Because if they were, I can promise you, everybody else that's within this organization would have kicked their asses to the curb a long time ago. Okay? They care. We care. They all care. I'm glad that you care. I mean, I'm glad that you're passionate. You know, we shouldn't lose that, but we should be reasonable about what we say and looking at this season as a whole. It sucks. I get it. It sucks. And we've seen some players who are legends here that unfortunately have not produced the way that we were accustomed to. And that happens. It just is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But even with all of that said, even with all those things that have happened, we still, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm glad I can say it, but we're still mathematically in this. I mean, even with that loss, nothing changed in the shuffle. The standings are exactly as they were. The only thing I would say is maybe the top 6 are locked in. 7 would be really tough, I think, given the way we've been playing, which, again, I don't think is as bad as everyone initially thought it was or felt like it was, because I think this one emotionally felt worse than it actually was, if you break it down. But 8 is still very attainable. And again, you look at our schedule, and it's just like, I know there's not much to hold on there, but this team can win games. And again, we have, 5 more at home? I mean, if the odds were ever in your favor, if things were ever going to line up in an optimal way, we've got it sitting in front of us. And I choose to sit here and look at these last 5, 6 games and say, you know what? I'm in. We're going to go for it. Because until we are completely, mathematically 100% out, I'm still going to believe that we can get in there. And whatever happens, happens. Okay? Sorry, rant over.
No, you're right. Like, if there's still a chance, why not go for it? Why shut it down? I do think that, like, there is still some hope in the season. Everything is lined up in our favor to go on a run, because it doesn't matter if we squeak into 8th place. If you just got to win a few more games in a row. I mean, granted, the first one will be in Louisville, but, like,
by the way, it's only at 54 points.
Yeah, like,
11 points ahead of anybody else in the league. Whatever.
It's so, like, that's the danger, right? But this team on paper is capable of beating Louisville. Like, Aaron's done it a lot. Forrest has done it a lot. Lewis Hilton has done it a lot. Like, they know what to do. And, like, so let's just get to the dance. Let's hope we can get to the dance and things come together a little quicker than we think. But I think it's possible. And you're right. I'm tired of talking about losses, especially on our 50th anniversary season. The club is probably tired of us talking about losses and being mean. Everybody's probably annoyed with our optimism mixed with some random cursing and outbursts. So let's make this a little positive. You mentioned Van Kazeel playing a lot more minutes than we thought. I would like to say that kudos to this man playing everywhere. He has been a utility player. I did not expect him to see him as the center of the back 3, and he did well. The week before, he cleared a ball off the line and saved our butts there, which allowed us to win that game. So kudos to him. He's had some rough patches, I would say, this season, but he's really rounded into form now at probably the most crucial moment. But really, the man of the hour, the 20,000-minute man, Lewis Hilton. It sucks that he had to get a knock and come off at halftime. But this man, we've said it before on the show, this season, last season, you guys probably talked about it. Season before that has been talked about. Since he's been here, he is our midfield, like, magician, our metronome. He makes this club tick. and an Energizer Bunny. Like the man doesn't like. I'm surprised he's only now hit 20,000 minutes. Like the
Right.
man just doesn't stop. And I'm sure if the games were 120 minutes every week, he still wouldn't stop and would play every minute he could. He just does not want to come off the pitch, and we don't want him to come off the pitch. Like our attack is a completely different beast when he's on that field, and like. He somehow in his entire career has managed to stay underrated or just, under the radar. Like why other teams didn't try to sell us like their stadiums to try to get him, or like Lord, I mean, granted, everybody who comes to St. Pete loves St. Pete. So I get it. But the man is an elite USL player who doesn't get the laurels he deserves. And there's a lot of talk about Leo Fernandez getting a statue outside our next stadium, and I fully believe that is true. I do think Lewis Hilton should be right there with him. And I hope Lewis isn't done yet. Like I really hope that like whatever happens in this offseason, Lewis Hilton is still in those plans if he wants to be, because he's a legend, and he, like I said, he's still a guy that you can build a team around, especially if he can stay healthy. And man, like it's crazy, right? Like watching Lewis Hilton play soccer has been such a joy, and I want him to get all of the recognition and all of the love this man gets, especially because I don't know his contract details, to be honest. This might be his last year here, and maybe.
Yeah.
So
I hope not. I hope he's here for the long haul. I hope he retires here. I hope he doesn't go anywhere. I absolutely love Lewis Hilton. Away from the field, and you know him as well. You and your wife know Lewis. Just such a wonderful human being. Just one of the most quality human beings you'll ever meet. Very nice, very kind, very engaging. Just a wonderful guy. Everything about his personality translates to his style of play as well. He is so willing to give everything for a team. And like you said, he is the kind of player that coaches dream about and can build a team around, because no matter what happens, if you've got a Lewis Hilton on your field, you have a chance. And the guy has been absolutely nothing but top tier since he's come to us. I mean, I remember when we signed him, and it just this little English guy coming in, and I'm just like, who is this guy? What is he, what is he going to do? I underestimated him. I wasn't sure, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. And within the first few games, we realized that it's not just his play, it's his aura. When he's on the field, you have to watch him. It's impossible for your eyes not to be drawn to his play. Everything we've done under Neil Collins to now is all moved through that guy. And I don't know if he's undervalued throughout the league. I gotta feel like most teams have got to know Lewis Hilton, right? Like opposing coaches, when they come in, they have to know, right? And maybe that's a bias on my part, but I don't think it is. I feel like if you want to attack a team, you've got to take out one of their best players. And I get that he doesn't score goals. That's not his strength per se. But if you want to break up a team's rhythm, you got to take out the heartbeat. And that's Lewis Hilton. So if I'm an opposing coach, I'm an opposing team, that's a guy that I'm targeting for 90 minutes. And I mean, that's just a testament to the way he plays. Like, I think he won the beat test like every single year since he's been here.
Yep.
Which, let me tell you, for anyone that doesn't know the beat test, just look up what beat tests are for soccer and understand, the athletes we've had come through here, right? Like, you learn real quick, like, it's not just about the fastest guy. It's not about all these other factors about big, strong, athletic. I mean, it's about heart at the end of the day. And that's why this guy has won it every single freaking year. It is just, it's incredible, the battery in this dude. And I'm with you, man. He in my book he goes down as a top 10 rowdy. Easily. He is a top 10, could even be, honestly, even a top 5. Like, he's up there with the Georgi Christoph, if you ask me.
So yeah, let's. I mean, we have another week. Well, we don't have a time limit on the show, but we don't really have much else to talk about. So, who would be your top 5 to 10 modern rowdies? We don't need to go to, because like Perry and Farouk, obviously, that's a whole other conversation. But the modern rowdies, who would be your? We'll stick with top 5.
All right, I tell you what, why don't we go, we'll go pick for pick here, and then we'll just kind of go see how far we go. I mean, the obvious one has got to be Georgi Christoph, no?
Yeah, he's number one, obviously. Like, by far.
I don't know how you pick anybody else. I mean, just from quality of character to what he did for this club, for just everything he stood for. I mean, he stood on business. He's number one, period. End of discussion.
Yeah. I think my number 2 would have to be. It's so hard. I think we have to go. Leo Fernandez is my number 2.
I like it. I mean, look, Leo has been an absolute monster for this team and this league. I mean, the Samba man, as Ryan likes to call it. I mean, he just, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I could have
No, you're good. I think that's it's either you could switch them however you want. They grew up playing together. They did magical things on the field for us. You could put Seba as either number 2 or number 3, and Leo at the other.
That was going to be my next one.
It has to be those two as your 2 and 3. Like, you know, because
can you imagine a front 3 of Seba, Georgie, and Leo? Like,
that would have been so fun to watch. Would have been so fun to watch.
It just primed those 3. I'm sorry. They are running through you all day. All right. Yeah. I mean, all right. I'll take the easy out here. To Lewis Hilton. I think he's in there. I think he holds down. I think he's the general in the field. So I'll pick another one. And he is currently with us. And I think in his prime, he got the accolades. He got the recognition, deservedly so. Forrest Lasso.
I would put Evan Loro there.
You know what? Good pick. Because, I mean, the other one you could have put in there, Matt Pickens.
Yes, I do. But Evan, like, I'm sorry. Like,
I'm with you.
That
I'm with you.
2021 back end, like Loro, Lasso, Guillen, and Jordan were just Scarlett were like,
yeah. I
mean, it was unbeatable. And I love Matt Pickens. Will love Matty Pickens to the day I die. But Evan Loro, just look at the difference between the Eastern Conference Final and the USL Final without him. Like, you know, I mean, granted, that's not fair to Ryko or the guys, but like, look at the difference. You know, like he was not just a great goalkeeper, he was an emotional leader, and we were chasing that Evan Loro high ever since. So, but like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Forrest Lasso does deserve, like, put him at 6 or Loro at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the problem when you get to like, honestly, anywhere past 4 is like 4 to like 10 are so interchangeable because they all had moments of absolute greatness.
Yeah.
Well, 4 through 7, maybe 4 through 8.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else would I put on this list. Aaron.
Well,
Guillen.
I mean, I was going to say, I think prime Aaron Guillen was, I mean, there's a reason we had Guillen Island, right? I mean, there's a reason you guys came up with that.
Do you want to know the story of that one?
Yes.
I was hungover as all hell on my couch.
What?
After it was a Sunday morning, and I was like,
you were hungover?
Brutally. And I was like, curled up, not even on the couch, like on my love seat at the house down there. And I was like, I have no thoughts but rowdy thoughts, and just was probably still drunk. And I was just like, what is a defensive comparison I can think of? And I thought of like the NFL and Revis Island, and I was like, yeah, let's throw that. And thinking nobody, like, it was a throwaway drunk hungover thought, and and I mean, I love it. And Aaron Guillen is but yeah, I think he should be there as 6, I think 7, wherever we're at. I don't know what numbers we're at.
I don't know who's counting.
Who else? Jordan Doherty, just because I love that boy.
Honestly, that was going to be my next one, because Jordan was not just a utility player. He was a difference maker wherever he played. You could plug him in a defense or midfield, and he was equally as influential on the game.
Would you rank Steinberger on that list?
Zach? That's tough, man, because I think he definitely, for who he was surrounded with, I would say, I don't think he got the fair shake. If you had put him in with, like, I think like the peak Forrest, Leo, Lewis, like all those guys, I think he would have done even more, but it's tough to say. I think he was a really good player. I think he was a good leader on the field. I don't know, man. I don't know if I put him in top 10.
Trying to think who
That's
else.
tough, and I feel bad because I love Zach. He's my realtor, for Christ's sake. That's why it's. I mean, Zach, I love you. Your top 10 all day. What are you talking about?
He's never going to listen to this. It's okay.
Yeah.
Connor Antley deserves. He didn't stay here very long, but I think Connor Antley is one of the most talented players to have come through the Rowdies on his journey up. He's one of the few that made the jump, to be honest.
Yeah. And he's had
thriving.
success up there.
Yeah, and thriving.
And he's number one or two shit talker on the team of all time for sure. Not a better shit talker in the business. I love Connor. I mean, he's that guy that when he's on your team, you love him. When he plays against you, you fucking hate that guy. And yeah, no, that's a great call. Another one you could probably throw in there, Darnell King.
Just Darnell King, he's also just a great human being. Like,
Yes.
just genuinely a good human being.
Well, here's why I kind of get tough at this point, because something that Neil Collins did that he changed, because we were leaving the signing big players and big names era with Stuart Campbell and really moving into a character shift. And like, I feel like the main thing he focused on, you have to have good character in order to even have a chance to be looked at by Neil Collins' staff. And all these guys that kind of came in after that point, for the most part, I think were amazing quality character guys. But are they top 10? I know that's the issue, right? Because here's the thing is I'm going to start looking at players now and I'm going to be like, I love these guys, like Lucky Mukasana. I love Lucky. I mean, just one of the greatest human beings, the famous goal. I mean, you love Lucky for what he was. Is he a top 10 because as a super sub? Because when he was the full-time striker, I don't know that he was the same player, but as a super sub, he was amazing because, I mean, it was the luck of Lucky. I mean, so it's tough. I mean, do you throw Freddie Adu? No, I'm just kidding. You don't throw Freddie Adu in there.
You can throw Freddie Adu out. I mean,
But that's my point, though, is like, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, Joe Cole or Marcel Schaefer were extremely talented players, but I wouldn't put them in my top 10, mostly because
Right.
the twilight at the end of their career, it was just kind of like, you know, it was fun to watch, but they also weren't here long enough. What? Who?
I know who, and I feel dumb for not seeing this. Tamika McIndory.
Ooh, good. I mean, he was.
I'm not saying he deserves top 10. I'm just saying, what a guy to throw it in the mix, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Tam was like, we were hot shit for a little bit there. We were bad. And he came in and staunched the bleeding and stabilized a really porous defense, and was just could have been James Bond, like just so suave. But yeah, like he's a very important player for that part of Rowdy's history, but I don't think he comes close to the top 10.
Yeah. See, I mean, and that's where I'm at right now. Is like I'm even looking now through like the history of Rowdy's players, and like
it's like we have recency bias other than Georgie, but also like the Neil Collins 2020, 2021 teams were elite. And it's hard
even
to
the 2020 team.
Yeah, that's like 2020 when we made the final that never got to happen, which we would have won. The 2021 team that set the records and it's the final we should have won. Like those two teams, and they were basically, it was the same team, I believe. Like I don't know if we even really tweaked anything, but like that is, how do you argue with that not being the top 11? You know, like. Or you can take one person out and throw Georgie Ristoff in there because but it's so hard because it was the best Rowdies team we've seen in hands down.
They're the gold standard. Yeah. I mean, they were the gold standard, right? We hold everyone. Can you have stepped on that team and been better?
Yeah. And Georgie might be the only one that would have improved that squad in any way, shape, or form. And, sure, we won the NASL championship in 2012, but the lower league soccer in the last 13 years has changed so much. Like, it is like watching, I don't know, muddy, ugly, like lower or even Premier League games from like the 70s and 80s to now. Like you can't compare those sides, and you can't compare 2012 NASL Rowdies or FC Tampa Bay to what we are seeing in this current USL. Like very different squads, very different style. JP Rodriguez might be able to defend in this league. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Shane Hill could cut it in the midfield.
I mean, he would have definitely had a red card, that's for sure.
Yeah. I
mean, I remember Rodriguez, dude. That guy, boy, he was an a-hole. But he was ferocious on the field. Like
Yeah.
JP was he was that guy.
Sanfilippo could probably hold it down in defense still. Like, he was a talented
Okay.
enough defender that he could. Yamada probably could hold his own in the defense now. Like, there are, I think, defenders could translate. I don't know if the midfielders and strikers outside of somebody who came from like Georgie could actually translate to the modern USL Rowdy squad. But I don't know, man. This is that's a fun exercise. I do, like, Georgie Hristov was like the main topic of our first ever Unused Substitutes episode, because I'll never forget 13 or 12 years ago how I was in the stands at Al Lang, and some dude just kept screaming that Georgie Hristov was lazy and he doesn't belong on the pitch, and I was like, this is like our franchise player and like the best player out there. Maybe I just don't know ball, but like, you're yelling at the wrong person. And that was like I think that was the title of the first episode of the show, is Georgie's is lazy or something like that. Like, and other than the water in the background that makes you have to pee and me smashing a table the whole time I'm talking because I'm Italian, it was a fun episode, and it's come full circle because Georgie is still lazy. No.
Yeah, I mean, did you remember that picture that he leaked of his ankle that was like swollen the size of a softball? Yeah. I mean, I'm complaining about a bum knee. That dude played on what looked like a broken ankle and taped that bitch up super tight and kept playing and scored.
Well,
like,
he's Bulgarian. They don't know pain. Like, in Bulgaria, the ankle swells you. Like,
You did not just pull out what was that guy's name?
Chuck Norris.
No. In Soviet Russia.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
what I was going for. That's what I was going
for. Okay, Yakov, or whatever his name was. Okay.
That's what I was going for.
But yes. No, I mean, I know. It's like that guy, we have been very fortunate. And I know it's tough right now. And I'm sure we're going to look back on even these current teams, and there's going to be a couple players in a few years, we're going to look back and be like, thank God we had them to hold us down in what was a very lean few years, right? And I mean, that's why we look back and but these players, I mean, it's not just about the stats. It's about what they meant to the club, what they meant. And I'll say this, I've had a chance to talk with a number of players even before the game. And look, this team very much is still together. They still are trying. They're still working their asses off. They are still working their butts off in practice, trying to get better every week. We're having a rough season. This is it's like we had the Stu Campbell era where the pendulum was swinging down, and Neil Collins' pendulum swinging back up. And unfortunately, it looks like the pendulum is going back down again, but it will come back up. And I do believe all these things that are going on, that we will be back. I mean, The season isn't done yet, but I mean, this franchise is important. It's important to the owners. It's important to the front end staff. It's important to the players. It's important to us fans. It's important to all of us. And this is as hard as this time is right now we're going through. We will come through this.
Yeah.
We'll look back on this and we'll be glad that we are past it.
We should probably.
Right now
we should probably look into hiring that Stu Campbell guy. I hear he's got a proven track record.
It's funny. There was, maybe that's a story I'll save for
you know who we should hire? The guy that Michael Fassbender played in that Taika Waititi movie, The Next Goal Wins. I think we should hire that Thomas Rongen guy.
It's so funny. I watched a snippet of that when he first got there, and I'm just like, they're portrayed like he changed. Did he change? Because pre-change in the movie, like, that's the guy we saw. No, what was his bar tab again, Dan?
Oh my God, I week after week. It's funny because they keep popping photos of that keeps popping up in my Facebook memories, and I was like, I remember being so thrilled that the coach of the Rowdies was sitting down having these conversations live with us on this stupid podcast, and then every week my money would go to pay his alcohol addiction to do that. But I mean, in all seriousness, like, at the time, especially when it was year 2 or 3 of us doing, or maybe even one. Yeah, it was year 2 of us doing this show, having the coach. And say what you will about Thomas Rongen as a person, as a soccer mind, he is probably a pretty decent one. And being able to pick his brain and talk soccer, talk tactics, talk the league. Was an incredible experience. If in this experienced me now, I would be like, I don't want to do it. Like, whatever. Go, like, I don't need to pay for your alcohol to get this insight. Like, I just don't care enough, and I can break down this team. Like, maybe once every couple weeks was fine, but every week I was going to fight that Dutch bastard.
Well, I will say I am waiting for this season to end, and I'm going to have a good sit down with Dominic Casiato. I've already kind of worked out some of the details, and we'll have a chance to kind of get his ideas and understand a little more about who he is as a coach, a little more about him personally, and kind of what he's looking for from a team, not just us specifically, but what he looks for in a team, what he looks for in a player, and a little more about what his plans are going forward. I personally, again, I know I've said it a few times, I am a fan of Dominic Casiato. I think he's very good pedigree. He's just young. He is new to the championship level, but I don't think that takes away from his knowledge or experience or his abilities. He's just raw talent, and it is only going to get better. He's proven it the division below us. And I think given the right opportunity here, which I think is a good opportunity and will become even better as we go forward, I think we'll see the fruits of that. So I don't know. I got nothing else really for this week, man, other than, hey, Lewis, I love you, buddy. And I am so freaking proud of you for hitting 20,000. It took you so damn long.
I guess we could end it here. And that's a great we love you to Lewis. Like, is what a legend, man. I hope we get another 10K out of him. I'm sure he's like, hell no, mate. Like, no. Yeah. I'm tired.
That man's married now. He just got done playing 20,000 minutes in USL Championship.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know, man. Do you
what?
Anything else to go out to fans before we close out? I mean, anything else you want to say to no? Okay, good. That's fine. All right. I'm not going to worry about that. Just suck it up, people. He doesn't care about you. I do. He doesn't.
No,
that's why I'm always here.
Yeah, that's why I moved away. F you guys. Can't stand you.
No, that was mostly because of me, but that's fine. We won't talk about that.
But fans, stick with the club. Like, we've been through worse, maybe. I don't know.
We lived through Stu Campbell. We've been through worse.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, and brighter days are coming. I think like I think that we've already hit the bottom of this. Yes. I think Casiato's going to pull us out. We'll build a good, strong roster, especially, and probably a young one. Casiato knows the, lower USL leagues, and I would love to pull out some talent mixed with some veterans and go forward. But yeah, I'm excited for the future. Annoyed with where we're at, but that's part of being a fan. I'm a New York Islanders hockey fan. It has been bad days since 1987. So, trust the process.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, look, this too shall pass. We've got another chance next weekend. For those of you that don't know, I would like to point out there, this is our 9/11 memorial match. So that we are hosting a walk, doing a stair climb at the stadium on Thursday for the 9/11 first responders, which is something we do every year. Kudos to the club and to all those involved that make this thing happen every single year. It's a great turnout. It's a wonderful event. It's for a good cause. But yes, this will be our 9/11 game coming up this weekend. I'd love to see, if you've got friends that are first responders, bring them out. If you need tickets, reach out to me. I'll help you guys find a way to get here. This is going to be a good game. And look, we can only deal with the team that's in front of us, and that's Colorado Springs, which are a decent squad. They've got some decent players. I still believe that we can hang with them and create a problem. And look, we close a chapter on this one, and we move on to the next one. That's all we can do. And we'll look forward to punching them in the mouth on Saturday, and we'll just keep going.
As long as Juan Tejada doesn't punch us in the mouth first.
He probably will. I mean, that's storybook right there. And historically, as we always have one extremely unlucky call or goal against us, probably going to be from Juan Tejada, who, by the way, I love the little man, just not when he plays us.
I wish we could get him back. He's found his form, but that's a story for another day. Go out to the game, bring first responders, let them get showered in the love they deserve, and let's kick some Colorado butt.
Let's do it, man. All right, come on, you Rowdies.
The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Rowdies play soccer, it's a sight sight to behold. You'll swear there'll be devils with magical toes. You'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll leap from your seat when they kick with their head instead of their feet. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Tampa Bay Rowdies take the field, there's a roar. The fans, loyal fannies, cheer the team they adore.